Been in the field about 3 years, and yeah, we're gonna go over a pretty easy box today, but kind of wanted to point it out because of how important it is to like patch machines and stuff like that. If it just don't keep up with your security, get owned pretty easily, and we're gonna demonstrate how easy it is.
Okay, awesome. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Caden, to go over Optimum.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn this machine, and while that's spawning, again we can go over the machine info, and it's just beginner level machine. Focus on enumeration of services with known exploits. Both exploits are easy to obtain and have associated Metasploit modules, making this machine fairly simple to complete. So we're gonna actually do this with Metasploit, but it is a lot easier to use Metasploit. So while that's running, we're gonna go ahead and um, connect with OpenVPN, and I believe my instance in the downloads folder. So go ahead and I have a bad habit of doing tab blocks for my left shift rather than doing shift. Cool. All right. So we'll go ahead and open up another terminal, and still just waiting for that to load.
Can you zoom in on your terminal a little bit, Caden, with the Control Shift Plus?
Oh yeah. Oh, because I'm in Cali, Ireland. So
Try view. It should be, I think it's Control Shift Plus.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I can use my other one. Control Shift plus. No. Shift plus? No. Thought just Control plus. There we go.
Go to Edit tab. Oh, no, you got it. Awesome. Perfect.
A little bit better?
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. All right, so we get our target IP there, so let's go ahead and ping it. See if up, and we're getting some data back, and we see 0 packets lost. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a directory. We'll call it mum. We're gonna cd into that. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and run a nmap scan. Do a simple reconnaissance. We'll do an A flag because it kind of does everything. Do that IP, and then we'll go ahead and output it to scan.text. While that's running, we'll go ahead and go to this IP and see what is there. So go right off the bat, we see there's some type of potential file server. We can go ahead and go to view page source, see if we can get anything else juicy here. You see that it's Rejudo, HTTP file server, but not really like anything else. So, cool. All right, nmap scan came back. You can probably see, there you go. You can nano scan, open it through nano, or you can just like see it from right here. But we do see that only one port is open, and it is 80. We do see that it is HTTP file server, HTTP 2.3. So a few ways that we can try to, oh, two different ways we can try to find an exploit for this. We can Google it. So let's see, we got Rejudo. Paste that in. Got a exploit DB link, or we can do search exploit and HFS 2.3, and it's gonna give you a bunch of different things. We got some Python scripts, text file, but this is the one that I want to grab, which is this one. So go ahead and go to the link, see what it is. See that it's for remote code or remote command execution. going through this, and it tells you a little bit of what it is right here. See that in order to use it, you gotta have Python and then that exploit and then the target IP with the port. And do note we gotta have netcat in order to get a reverse shell. And the fact that it is saying it's netcat makes me believe that this is some type of reverse shell. It's exactly what it is. So we'll go ahead and grab this. You can grab it a few different ways. You can do the raw and then wget and grab it that way, or we can just download it. Let me see, it's right there. So go ahead and go into my downloads folder. And we see it's right here. So go ahead and copy that into what directory I was in for that mum. I mean, if we were to go back to it and do get the file path where you're at. So go ahead and go back to that downloads folder and move that Python script. What was it called? I think it was 3.9. Yep, there you go. So we'll go home. User. You can always hit tab to finish the file or the directory as well. So what was it? Mum. Cool. All right. So we'll go ahead and go back into that directory. If we open it up, we see it's right there. So go ahead and nano that and see what it is. Going through this, do see right here that we got to have our local IP and local port number. We'll keep the port number 443. We don't got to change it. We can change it if we want, but do simple ifconfig to find out what our IP is, and it's right here. So he's a ton 0. Go ahead and copy that. I'm not going to remember. Just paste in our IP right here. And go ahead and save it. Save it the same name. And let's see, I should probably open up another terminal rather than try to split this up. Maybe we can try to split it up. Let's see. Control Shift D to open up another one. Is that a little bit too small? Should I open up just another terminal?
No, they're good. Yeah, that both of them are
All right,
good.
cool. All right. So let's see. Go ahead. We're gonna need netcat, so we're gonna find where that is. Oh, locate netcat, and that we see it's right here in this folder. So we'll go ahead and copy that into the folder that we're using or acting out of, because we're gonna need that. And then we'll go to binaries and then netcat.exe and put it into the folder we're in. So there we go. We got our netcat there. We're gonna have to open up another terminal to host HTTP server. So all right, let's see. We got the need the target IP. Is this too small, or should I'll just get into that? Oh well. All right, so let's see. What are we doing next? We're gonna execute that Python script. So we're gonna have that with the target IP of the server, and it was on port 80. And if you remember in the script, it says we gotta put the open port on. So in order to get onto this file server, we're gonna have to have port 80. Looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and use Python to open up a simple HTTP server. And we'll do port 80. And then we're going to use netcat to listen and grab that reverse shell. So go ahead and execute it, and you see that there's an error. Bit of a trial and error, and then you find out that you got to actually use Python too if you're anything like me and you're always updating your Kali. This is a little bit older machine, so we're going to have to update it that way, and you see that it didn't successfully grab. You do have to run the script a few different times in order to get that show, and we do see it's right there. So we can do a quick who am I? We see that we're Costas, so we can open that up, see what else is. Oh, there it goes. See what else is there. And we see that there's a user.text, so we'll go ahead and type that out. And there we go, there's our first flag. And take that, and then bring it back to paste it in there. And there you go. You got the first flag. So you can go try to see if you can reach admin. Let's see. So we'll try to administrator, try to get into that one. Access denied. So we don't have the correct privileges in order to access the administrator account. So what we're gonna have to do is try to escalate our privileges, and a few different ways to do that. So we do know that this is a Windows machine. Did tell you here in the beginning, right there. So guess we can try to use WinPeas, see if we can escalate our privileges that way. What did we're in the desktop folder. All right. Let me see that HFS. So that's our binary in order to get. So that was what was dropped here in order to get the reverse shell into this machine. So cool. All right. So I guess we can try to get WinPeas. I don't have it on my Kali at all, so we can go ahead and just Google it. So WinPeas GitHub. I always like to grab some repos from GitHub. So we got this one. The executable right there. And then so you can download the latest one right here. Find that x64. Let me see, it's been downloaded. It looks like I already have it in my downloads folder. So go back to the downloads folder. You do see it's there. All right, so we'll go ahead and copy that into our that mum folder that we were in, so we can transfer that. I mean, we could transfer from here too, but because I got the HTTP server listening or hosted in my mum folder, we're gonna bring it there. Go ahead and username. There we go. So I'm go ahead and get out of this folder and then move over back to our mum folder. Clear this, and we see WinPeas is right there. So now we're gonna get WinPeas and we're gonna put it into that Windows device that we got the reverse shell into. So go ahead and close this off. I'm gonna post it on a different port, 8080. So can use a few different ways to transfer the files. I'm gonna just use a cert util because it is something that is on every Windows device. We'll do cert util.exe, and then we're gonna use the URL cache. Oop, did not mean to do that. All right, so we'll do that URL cache. We're gonna split it in case we need, if the binary is too big, and then we're gonna force it. And then we're gonna just call out to our public or our private IP, which is at 10.10.14.156. We got that. It's listening, our HTTP server is listening on port 8080 because that's what I have right there. And then in that, because we're in that mum folder and I got WinPeas there, we can just go ahead and grab it. Cool. So there we go. You see that it's called back and it successfully grabbed it. So we can dir, and then we see it's right there. So then we can just execute it and wait for it to come back. So that's one different way to try to find exploits. I'm going to show you a few different ways. We'll do Windows exploit suggester next, or no, what is it? Windows suggester. I don't know, I'll go for you guys. I forgot what it's called off the top of my head. Yeah, Windows exploit suggester. All right, so we see that the win piece came back. Go ahead and start looking over that. It's kind of just exploiting this or enumerating this whole machine, seeing what we can abuse to escalate our privileges. That's basically what WinPeace is, finding exploits on machines, on Windows devices specifically.
I
So
do
if you
have
go
a
all the way,
question
yep.
from the audience. Vod
Yep.
cannot ask why certutil over something like a PowerShell invoke web request call.
You could do it that way. There's numerous different ways that you can try to grab it. Me personally, I know how to use certutil, so that's why I just defaulted to that one. But whatever you're comfortable with using, it's just something that I see often at work. So I kind of just got used to how certutil works, and that's why I kind of use it for this. I don't know if that answered your question, but there is no like specific one you have to use. It's just whatever you're comfortable with.
I saw it at work a lot, I think is my favorite answer. That's my thumbs up.
The
So,
best answer ever been given.
cool. So we did see that we did use it, right? And it did successfully go through, and it kind of just tells you. Got the piece right there. If I were to zoom out, it'd be a little bit easier to see, but it's piecemealing. And then you got your key right here. We're looking for what's red. You can, the green is all good. It means that you can't really exploit it, but the red means that you can. And then two other things, active users is cyan, and then blue is disabled user. And then the yellow ones, anything you see yellow has a link, so you can go to that link if you want, and it'll bring you up to it. But we see that it's a Windows Server 2012 R2 standard, and you see that the OS is right there. You can just go through it. If you can find something in this that you can escalate your privileges with, by all means, go ahead and do that. I'm not the best at using what's already on this machine. I've tried a few different things, so I'll go ahead and show you guys a different way, but go through all the data and look at what it's telling you. See if you can try to escalate your privileges that way. It kind of shows you a bunch of different things. So let's see, I'm trying to find different categories. Like you got the driver information there. Interesting events and information here. And it'll tell you like the RDP sessions and like tell you different paths that we can try to escalate our privileges with. We see that netcat that we put onto the machine. It also tells you credentials too a little bit further down. Vulnerable leaked handlers there. Tells you a bunch of different data around the server that you can potentially escalate your privileges with, but like I said, I want to show you guys a few different ways that you can do that. You can also like get your services information. You can also like use PowerShell scripts. I believe there's something called Sherlock that will also help you as well. You can do different paths. You can do some type of path injection there to escalate your privileges, and then towards the bottom is where you get the credentials. Startup folder. Got the startup test. Yeah, anything in here by all means, but I'm going to show you a few different things that you can do as well. So we'll go ahead and so you got the credentials right here for that Costa's user, so you can try to like grab that hash and then use like Jack the Ripper or Hashcat to try to crack those to see what the password is. So cool, yeah. So we got that. go ahead and move on to the next one, which is Windows Exploit Suggester. Go ahead and Google that next. Windows Exploit Suggester. So you can try to use this one. I didn't have. I had a hard time running this one because it's a bit older. I think it's like 7, 8 years old, and kept on getting errors trying to run this one. Let's see how old it was. Yeah, 7 years. So there is a newer version, which is right here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that one. Please. Cool. So where is that? You can see right here the usage. We can download it with pip install wesng, or we can just copy this and run that in our command line. Cool. So now we see that I created a new directory on our in our mum folder. So we'll just go ahead and go to that. See, there's a few different files here, some Python scripts, some more folders, zip file. See, after that, we got to update it. So we can do that update command. And we see it's not found. So you actually have to use Python with this. Oh, keep on using my my mouse to scroll. Cool. All right, so it obtained the definitions and updated the database, and it puts it into that zip file. So you can see how to run it here, how to use it. So we're on step 3. So it's just telling you that you can put this on the Windows machine and then use this VBS script or this PS1 script in order to do that, or you can get the system info and use it like that. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go back to our reverse show. And we'll do system info and wait for that data to come back. And we'll go ahead and just copy all of this. And put it into a different folder. We'll call that system.txt. Paste that there. We'll save it. Yep. Want to keep it that. So then I'll go back to nanosystem.x and we see all of the details here of that Windows machine. So again, it's that Windows Server 2012. The OS version's right here. And then we're more concerned with hot fixes. So these are all patches that's been installed on the device. We got about 31, but I'm sure there's more that hasn't been patched. So we'll go ahead and try to figure out what those are. And we're going to do that using Windows or this Windows exploit suggester. So let's see, we'll got our system text right here. So we can go back to the usage here and see how to actually use this tool. Go to that command line.md and kind of get this is kind of like the dash help to see what it does. So we can look at all the flags that we can potentially use with it. Right here, that -e will give you all the exploits or exploits only. You can use one or the other, and it'll give you all the exploits on that machine. You can use -o to output that into a different file, but this is the one that I want to use, the lookup. And this is going to just look, it's going to take all those hot fixes and run it within all those Microsoft vulnerabilities to see if it's been patched within. So that's what we're going to use for our scan. So use that, what was it, Python 2. And look to see if a few different examples here at the bottom on like how to actually like use it. No, that's not it. Right down here, show you how to use it. But my apologies, it's right here. So it actually tells you how to use that muck one. Where you at?
Towards the bottom, second to the
Oh, right there. Yep,
yeah.
right there. Thank you. So you see, we're going to use that WES.python or py and use that system info, which is what we used to read. So we dumped the system info on that Windows machine and we put it into that system.txt file, and then you're going to just do that dash lookup. So do ws.py, and then we're going to take that system.txt muck lookup, and then we're going to output that into a file. I'll just call it one.txt. We see that it doesn't exist, so or it's not reading it. Command not found. So we actually found out that you got to use Python to execute that. And we tried it with Python too, because that's what I needed to do the reverse shell. So I just defaulted to that, and then it executes it. And then after a little bit of time, I'll tell you that. See what exactly it says that it won't work because we got to install mechanical soup, I think it's called, and that's where somebody created some type of database to look up all those Microsoft vulnerabilities. The waiting game. And you see, you cannot look it up because we have to install that mechanical soup, and we can do it with pip to install mechanical, but when you do it like that, it doesn't exist. So we can do pip install and then delete the correctly, do it that way. And I've already got it, so cool. All right, so we'll try that again. And we're probably gonna get the same error. I'll kind of show you how I figured out that what I was doing wrong. See, like it's taking longer this time. So it gives us the same error. And when you try to find that mechanical soup, oh, we always see that it's calling upon or it's using Python 3. That's the folder that it's in. So if we do it again using Python 3, I was able to actually get it to work. Then I'll give it a second and show you guys that it's actually going through all those hot fixes and filtering out the duplicate vulnerabilities, and you'll actually like see it. And that this scan takes a pretty long time. I think when I did it, it took about 25 to 30 minutes, but I'm not going to sit here staring at my screen waiting for 20 to 30 minutes. But once you start seeing that data, I think I got another a different text file of it, my downloads folder, but it'll start going. I'll show you that first, and then we'll move on to what it would actually. So there you go. It's looking up those potentially missing hot fixes, which are patches. Cool. So there's actually another. You can actually manually go ahead and try to figure out. So we know that this was a Windows 2012 server. So we can just start Googling. We can do it a manual way. See here. We'll do Microsoft vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities. Let's see, Windows 2012 server, and then we'll do like privesc for privilege escalation, and then get a GitHub, another GitHub of all the different Microsoft vulnerabilities. So that list will also give you all of the potential exploits you can use. I think there was about 1,100 in it, and it's just trial and error. If you do the exploits one, I think it's like 1,500. So a little bit of trial and error. You'll eventually find it. You can see all these Microsoft vulnerabilities there as well. But we're looking for, in that list, it'll tell you S16-98. That's one of them that you can use. And then you can just go into that GitHub repository here to grab that exploit. See, it's an executable right there. Or we can just take that again and then just Google that. Let me see that there's also an exploit-db for that. Get the binary here. You can take a look at what it is. See, it's an integer overflow, and I mean, if you know what all that is, you can make that out. Good for you. I personally do not, but we know that this is an exploit that we can use. So go ahead and grab that binary right here. I believe it's still scanning. And like I said, it's going to take a hot minute for that to go through. All right, so go back to this terminal. We're going to wget, and then we're going to grab that binary. That easy. So we'll see it's right there. There's not anything that we needed to change for that. Reading through this, there's not like anything we need to change. So it seems like we can just execute it. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and host another server to call upon from my shell to grab it with using certutil. Cool. All right, so we'll do that certutil.exe, that URL cache, split it, force it, and then we're going to just call upon IP, which I already forgot, just 14.156. Should probably put a port there, do 8080. And then what was that binary called? 41020.exe. Let me see, going there, and it grabbed it. So go ahead and dir. You see it's right here. We do see that there's some bytes in there, so it's not an empty file. So we'll just take that and execute it. Comes back. Who am I? There you go. Your system. So now we can dir, and we see user.text, so we just type that out. And there's your second flag. That easy. So again, just wanted to go over this one because to show the importance of always patching your machine. Don't want to let it go unnoticed because people will find it. Oh, wrong answer. Is that the same one?
Yeah,
Grab
I think you grabbed from the Costa's user
yeah,
instead of the administrator. Yeah.
to go to that administrator folder, and we can see that we're actually in it now. And we'll go to the desktop, see if it's there. Gonna go through all those folders, and there you go, root.txt. So thank you for that correction. Let me take that string, copy that, go here and paste it in. There you go. Put on the machine. That easy. Cool. And if we go over that first screen, still running to that long. So checking all those hot fixes. Like I said, takes quite a bit of time because going through each single one and seeing if it's been patched for it or not. But yeah, you can go to my downloads folder. I'll show you the scan just so you have some type of visualization of what it was, what it looks like. And it just tells you everything that you could potentially use to escalate your privileges that way. And then it tells you like some of the websites you can go to as well. You can just navigate to that and oh, probably because probably does there you go. And then it brings you to that website and then you can just look over the code to see if it's something that can work. See what it does, gives you the summary and how to like execute it if you gotta manipulate anything, where the proof of concept is. Yeah. That's pretty much it. It's a very easy machine. Anybody have any questions or anything like that?
I was monitoring the chat. I didn't see anything else other than the PowerShell over certutil, but you said that that was a good answer. He just wasn't sure if like the reason was to like evade detection or something like that, which I mean is valid. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man. Great job.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna be it for the stream this month. No other announcements, right?
No, nothing. We're good to go.
Cool. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.